What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video, another day, another dollar, where we're going to be breaking down the futures contract. Per usual, ES, we're going to go over it. We're going to look at the daily as there's an update to what has happened. We finally come back into a 3-day balance initially. So I'll go ahead and update those destinations, and then we'll look at the 30-minute time frame, go over the destinations on there, mark them, and then get out of here. Did not trade any today. Felt like it was going to be a choppy session. That was basically what we got. It's just a choppy inside, not inside day, but kind of was. We just chopped inside of the previous day's range. Didn't do a whole lot. Very small range, light volume, not a lot to review. So let's go ahead and update this balance. So we previously had a balance here where we were in balance for 1 day, popped up, came out of that balance, and we one time framed up 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row. And now we've come back into a balance by taking out the previous day's low. All right, so let's go ahead and move this up. Now the main question is, because we've come back into a balance, are we going to do what we did last time, which is come into balance for 1 day and then resume back to the upside? That is kind of the question. Or are we going to do it and then come back in, maybe fill some of this gap? Would not be unhealthy for the market to kind of have a little bit of a pullback. Would not hurt at all if we had a little bit of a pullback in the market, but you know, I'm sure somehow, some way we'll manage to chop around it here. Probably going into the good part of next week, as we do have the holiday coming up. So we do have our daily balance high here at 45.3675. That is our balance high. Our daily balance low is now going to be 83.75, and that is where the gap starts. Okay. So we have a gap that starts there at 83.75. So if tomorrow we take out today's low and can't take out that 83.75 level, we will remain in balance. However, if we take out today's low and then go and take out 83.75 and don't take it out by more than maybe, let's say 2 to 5 points, then we will have just stretched the balance. But if we do take it out at 83.75 and get into this gap, the daily will go from balance to one time framing down, which again would not be unhealthy for the market to have a little bit of a pullback, as the last time we were in balance here, as Paul noted earlier today, we were in balance, went bull, or basically the buy side was very strong, boom, 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 7 days in a row, came back into a balance, and then gapped up again, right? We had several gaps here, another gap here. If I pull up our gap list, we have several gaps all over the place. The most recent gap and main one that we're going to be in focus of is going to be this 83.75 level down into that 44.3675, where the gap will then fill. We have that 50-day moving average right around the 68.75 level. So if we do manage to fill this gap at some point in the future, how much do we take back, and do we get to that 50-day moving average? Now, the 50, the 20, and the 200 are all curling up still. So it'll be very interesting to see if we ever pull back to those, and if we do, how we react to them in the near future. Now, in yesterday's video, I was talking about basically wanting to find acceptance over 45.25, and that was basically the battleground again today. Not a whole lot above there today and yesterday, so 45.25 still continues to be my level to monitor in the short term, and then basically all the way up into 45.60 is kind of where we've been topping out these last several times here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times we've topped out in that range, so be a level of interest for me as well. All right, now let's go ahead and look at the 30-minute time frame. Go ahead and mark those and get you guys on your way. Let's see. Zoom this in. Alrighty. Here's today's price action. Not a whole lot to review, just choppy price action. Could you have traded today? Yes, there were some early trades early on in the day, especially once you took out A's low and got the initial balance low. Your target on the downside was most certainly the previous day's low, and then that 9Y point of control, which we got, and then we went down and tested that afternoon pullback low. In yesterday's video, I was talking about how I wanted to see how we would react to that 4,500, and that buyers, if we did pull back, would want to hold there if they had any hope and keeping this market up for a little while longer. We did basically get both points of control. We got that 10 wide point of control on the upside. Could not quite get the afternoon rally high early on in the morning. And after that, we did end up rolling over, getting below the open, attempting to go trend, failed, and then came back into the day's range where we just kind of chopped around that, chopped around inside the previous day's range and below the previous day's value. So notice how value has been going from from completely higher to overlapping the higher to now overlapping the lower. So the question is, do we continue to bring value lower and then eventually take back the sell tail and get into the gap on the downside? So today we just go out with the day's high, the day's low, and a 9 wide point of control. So over the last 3 days, we've had some wide points of control, whether that's laggard buyers stepping into the market right in this range, or sellers kind of stepping into the market, kind of getting rid of some of their shares and taking profits on what they've had over the last several days, especially with the recent run up. Today's high 45.26.25. Let's go ahead and mark that. Today's date 16th. Boom. We have a 9 wide point of control right here at 1450. Is it 1450 or is it 14? I want to say it is. Was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, I got to count this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so yeah, 1450 is going to be our 9 wide point of control because that was the point closest to half back. So 9 wide POC. We'll label that. So that'll be a level of interest tomorrow. And then we have the day's low down here at 45.0175. So we just missed that afternoon pullback low by about 1.5 points. So interesting how we got down near that 4,500 level and held it initially. So if tomorrow we get below that, you'll most certainly get that afternoon pullback low. If we get below 4,500 and find acceptance below that 4,500 level, then you're looking to get into the gap on that downside. So low day 11, 16, 23. So a few scenarios for tomorrow. If we open up inside the day's range, expect a whole lot of chop, basically between the 4,500 level and that 4,525 level of interest, in my opinion. We'll most certainly touch that 15 or 9 wide point of control at 1450. If we open up below the 9 wide point of control, take out the day's low, you will most likely go and test our balance low at 83.75, get into that gap on the downside where it fills at 36.75. Now for the upside, if we open up above the 9 wide point of control and take out the day's high, you will hit that afternoon rally high at 29.50, the day's high at 36.75, which is our balance high, and then you have that high day from 9.15 at 40.50, and then that target on the upside for the monthly 45.62. So be interesting to see, do we continue to chop inside of this range between 45.36 and 44.83.75, or we come out of this balance to the downside, which wouldn't be a bad thing, or do we resume to the upside? So with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hope you all have a wonderful day. Catch you guys in the next one soon.